The true story of Valeria Mesalina as a teenager. Valeria Mesalina, known simply as Messalina, was a leading figure in 1st century imperial Rome. Her life was marked by power, controversy, and political intrigue. As the wife of the Emperor Claudius, Messalina left an indelible mark on Roman history. The year 38 AD was a period of consolidation of the Roman Empire under the rule of Caligula. Rome was experiencing a period of political and social change, with a society marked by luxury and decadence. This context had a notable influence on the life of Messalina and her close circle. Messalina was born into a noble Roman family, which guaranteed her a privileged position from birth. Her father, Marcus Valerius Messala, and her mother, Domitia Lepida, were influential figures in Roman politics. This ancestry provided her with an environment full of power and expectations. During her childhood, Messalina lived in the heart of imperial Rome, surrounded by luxury and privilege. Her life was spent in palaces and villas, in the midst of a society obsessed with power and wealth. This environment shaped her character and her future ambitions. The education of a young Roman woman of noble birth was essential to her development and social standing. Messalina received a comprehensive education that included literature, music, and the arts, as well as domestic skills. This education enabled her to function deftly in Roman society, preparing her for her future role as empress. During her teenage years, Valeria Mesalina was exposed to various cultural influences that shaped her character and thinking. The rich Greco-Roman heritage, philosophical teachings, and family traditions played a crucial role in her development. Interaction with intellectuals and artists of the time enriched her perspective of the world. Messalina's family relationships were crucial to her personal and social development. She grew up surrounded by influential figures who instilled values and expectations in her. Her close relationship with her mother and other close relatives provided a supportive and guiding environment at crucial moments in her youth. In Roman society, noble women had a defined, if limited, role. They were expected to be virtuous, loyal, and exemplary in their behavior. Messalina, aware of these expectations, navigated the complexities of her role with intelligence and cunning, adapting to the social demands of her time. As a young noblewoman, Messalina faced a number of social expectations. Her behavior was expected to reflect the high standards of her status. The pressure to maintain an impeccable image and conform to the norms of the Roman aristocracy was constantly with her, influencing her everyday decisions and actions. Messalina was part of an exclusive social circle, made up of young people from prominent Roman families. These friends and acquaintances shared similar interests and experiences, creating close bonds. Joint meetings and activities strengthened these relationships, providing Messalina with a sense of belonging and camaraderie in her social environment. Daily life in Rome for a young noblewoman like Valeria Mesalina was filled with rituals and activities that reflected her status. From dawn, her day began with personal grooming and dressing, followed by a light breakfast. Social visits and household chores were an integral part of her routine. Recreational activities and games were essential to the leisure time of young Romans. Messalina enjoyed board games such as L'Trunculi, similar to chess. Chariot races and circus shows were also popular events that provided excitement and entertainment in her daily life. Clothing and fashion reflected the social standing of young noblewomen. Messalina wore elaborate tunics and stoles of fine fabrics, adorned with jewels. Elaborate hairstyles and the use of cosmetics were common, highlighting the importance of appearance in Roman society and Hellenistic cultural influence. The diet of young Romans was varied and rich in flavors. Messalina enjoyed meals that included fresh fruit, bread, cheese, and meat. Banquets were special occasions where exquisite and exotic dishes were served, displaying the opulence and access to resources that noble families had. Religion and personal beliefs played a crucial role in Messalina's life. She participated in religious rituals and festivals, offering sacrifices to the gods to secure their favor. Devotion to household gods and the practice of the state religion reinforced her cultural identity and her belonging to Roman society. Youth parties and celebrations in Rome were times of great joy and togetherness. Young people took part in festivities such as Saturnalia and Floralia, where music, dancing, and the exchange of gifts reigned. These occasions allowed them to socialize and establish lasting bonds in a festive atmosphere. Messalina's first loves and relationships marked her adolescence. In a society where marriage was a matter of political expediency, personal feelings were often kept secret. However, early love experiences influenced her character and behavior in adult life, shaping her expectations and desires. Politics played a crucial role in Messalina's life from a young age. Belonging to an influential family, she was constantly surrounded by intrigue and strategy. She learned to navigate a world where alliances and betrayals were commonplace, preparing for her future role at the imperial court. The family's influence on Roman politics was crucial. Messalina grew up watching her family use their connections and power to maintain their privileged position. These early lessons taught her the importance of strategic relationships and cunning, skills she would employ later in her public life. Arranged marriages were an expectation for young noblewomen like Messalina. These agreements were made to strengthen political and economic ties between powerful families. Although love was not the main driving force behind these unions, the young women learned to fulfill their duties and seek stability in their new alliances. In ancient Rome, women played a vital role in politics, although often behind the scenes. Valeria Mesalina, as a member of the nobility, was no exception. She used her influence to support her husband, the Emperor Claudius, and navigate the complicated web of alliances and feuds. Messalina's public life was in constant tension with her private life. While in public she had to display loyalty and virtue, in private she managed intrigues and alliances. This contrast reflects the duality that many Roman women lived, being pillars at home and strategists in the shadows. Messalina's home education was key to her development. She received instruction in a variety of areas, including literature, philosophy, and the arts. This education not only prepared her to be an exemplary wife and mother, but also to exert her influence in the public sphere. At home, Messalina learned domestic skills essential to a Roman woman of her status. Overseeing household management, child rearing, and organizing social events were responsibilities she was expected to master. These skills complemented her intellectual and political training. Messalina's mother had a great influence on her life. She imparted to her the values, knowledge, and strategies necessary to survive and thrive in the imperial court. Through her example and teachings, Messalina learned to navigate the complexities of Roman politics and strengthen her position in society. Messalina developed a complex relationship with the paternal figures in her life, influenced by politics and power. Both her father and grandfather were influential figures, shaping her ambitions and expectations. This family dynamic taught her from a young age how to navigate a world dominated by powerful men. The emperor's impact on Messalina's life was significant. Claudius, her husband, was the center of power in Rome, and his decisions directly affected her well-being and status. Her closeness to the emperor offered her advantages, but also exposed her to intrigues and rivalries at the imperial court. Being a young noblewoman in Rome brought with it numerous challenges. Messalina had to meet strict social and political expectations, while maintaining an impeccable reputation. Alliances and betrayals were common, and any mistake could be fatal. The constant pressure shaped her character and determination. Slaves played a crucial role in Messalina's daily life. They were responsible for most of the household and personal tasks, allowing her to concentrate on more important matters. However, the constant presence of slaves also reflected and reinforced the social hierarchies and dependency of the Roman elite. In Roman society, physical appearance was extremely valued. Messalina, as a noblewoman, was expected to maintain an impeccable image, befitting her status. Fashion, makeup, and hairstyles were essential to project power and elegance. The pressure to meet these standards was constant and demanding. In ancient Rome, social pressure and standards of conduct were strict, especially for young noblewomen. Messalina was expected to behave according to the expectations of her class, always maintaining an image of virtue and decorum. Any deviation could result in severe criticism and affect family honor. Access to literature and art in Messalina's life was privileged. Young noblewomen learned to read and appreciate classical works, which shaped their intellect and aesthetic sensibility. Education in these disciplines not only enriched their culture, but also gave them social prestige. Mythology had a notable influence on Roman youth. Messalina, like many of her generation, grew up hearing tales of gods and heroes, which not only offered entertainment but also moral lessons. These myths became integrated into her daily life, guiding her beliefs and behavior. Youth meeting places were essential to Messalina's socialization. Baths, forums, and banquets provided spaces where young women could interact and build relationships. These encounters were vital to forging alliances and friendships that could influence her personal and political future. Messalina's relationship with her brothers played a crucial role in her development. Sharing daily life with them offered her emotional support and a network of trust. In addition, family dynamics could reflect and reinforce the expectations and standards of conduct of Roman society. The influence of foreign policy in Rome was palpable in everyday life. Military campaigns and strategic alliances affected not only rulers but also noble families. Young people, like Messalina, grew up in an environment where power and international relations defined their future. The transition from adolescence to adulthood for Messalina was marked by increasing responsibilities. The expectation to maintain the family reputation and fulfill imposed social roles added a layer of pressure. These transitions were crucial to establishing her position in Roman society. Messalina's first steps into adulthood involved learning to navigate a world filled with political and social intrigue. The decisions she made not only affected her life, but also that of her family. Her cunning and ability to handle these situations became essential. Reflecting on Messalina's life allows us to understand the complexities and challenges faced by noble women in Rome. Her story reveals how social and political expectations could shape a person's destiny, often leading them to make difficult and compromising decisions. What can we learn from Messalina's story? Her life teaches us about resilience and the ability to adapt to adverse circumstances. It invites us to question social norms and reflect on the pressures faced by women in all eras.